Hello all, I'm Janvi Varke, Assistant Professor at Vidyalanka School of Information Technology. Today we are going to learn computer graphics and animations, unit number 1. The topic which we are going to cover is display devices. What is a display device? It is a device for presentation of information such as an image or a text. It is of two different types, the CRT and the flat panel display. CRT is the cathode ray tubes. It has two different methods, the random scan and the raster scan. Whereas the flat panel display is having methods like volatile display, static flat panel display. We will first start with the cathode ray tube, CRT. It is the most common analog electronic displays and it consists of vacuum tubes. These are the specialized vacuum tubes. Images are produced when an electron beam strikes the phosphorescent surface. This is a diagram of cathode ray tube. Here you can see that this is a cathode ray tube and this part is the screen which is coated with the phosphor material. Here we are having, this is the heater which is in red color. It is the heater and it is surrounded by the cathode. The heater is heated by passing the electricity and the cathode emits the electrons. You can see the electrons are coming out. Okay, so these are electrons when the heater heats the cathode. So what is that? Heater element. Heat is supplied to the cathode by passing current through heater element. And the cathode is, electrons are released from the cathode surface. We can see over there, the cathode is surrounded by a control grid. And the control grid is having a small hole. Here, it is from this hole, the electron comes in outside in the form of a beam. If the control grid is not there, the electrons would have been dispersed here and there. So that's why there is a small hole through which it comes in a form of beam. This control grid covers the cathode, leaving a small opening for the electron to come out. And its intensity can be controlled by passing the voltage level. Okay, it can have a high negative voltage or a low negative voltage, through which the brightness can be controlled. Okay, the number of electrons coming out is controlled by passing the electricity. There are anodes. These anodes are the positively charged, and these helps in accelerating the electrons. That means that it increases the speeds of the electron. You can see over there are different anodes over here. Okay, and these are increasing the speed, used to increase the speed. There are these focusing coils. These are the focusing coils and these are the deflecting coils. Okay, these are used to maintain the position of the electron beams. It forces the electron beam to converge into a small spot on the phosphor coated screen. Otherwise, the electron would repel as it approaches the screen. Deflecting coil also generates an electromagnetic field that allows for constant adjustment of direction of beam. When the electron collides the phosphor coated screen, its kinetic energy is absorbed, resulting into a screen display. So here it is, the electron beam is converged into a dot on the phosphorus coated screen and it produces the image on the screen. What are the drawbacks of the cathode ray tube? As you can see that it is very bulky in size, which have been used in TVs. The earlier TVs used, they were having the cathode ray tubes. So these are very bulky in size, much more bigger in size. And to increase the screen's width, the length of the tube has to be increased. The length of the tube should be increased such that we can have a bigger screen. So that is also a drawback over here, which increases the size of the, you can say, the screen. Electromagnetic field has health hazards. Here we have bad effects of that electromagnetic field produced by the focusing coils. We are using two different methods for the cathode ray tubes, the raster scan display and the random scan display. Most common method of drawing images on the CRT tube is the raster scan method. Electron beam is swept across the screen one row at a time from top to bottom. The beam is on while it moves from left to right, and it is off when it moves from right to left. This is called the horizontal ray trace. Whereas when the beam reaches the bottom of the screen, it is turned off and it is rapidly retraced back to the top to the start. This is called as the vertical ray trace. You can see over there in this diagram, blue lines, these are the on lines when the electron beam is on. Okay, and when it retraces back, horizontal retrace is shown by the pink lines, and in this way it keeps on. The electron beam is on, then it is off, then on, then off, like this way it goes till the end, and at the end again the beam becomes off and it retraces to the top with the black line. So at this time the beam is off, which is called as the vertical ray trace. The method of displaying an image in CRT is, here in raster scan what happens, the image is scanned, converted and stored in the frame buffer. Okay, with the frame buffer it is given to the refresh buffer. Okay, refresh buffer, it is having the data or the image stored in zeros and ones. The display controller takes the data from the refresh buffer or the frame buffer and it displays on the screen. So here you can see that in the buffer it is shown, wherever which portion has to be shown is highlighted by 1 and the other portion is 0. So here you can see that the T structure is developed on the screen. So this is how the raster scan works. Frame buffer stores an image as a matrix of intensity values located on the graphic card. Stored intensity values are then retrieved from the refresh buffer and displayed on the screen one row at a time. What is the work of the display controller? It has direct access to the memory location in the frame buffer and it is responsible for retrieving the data from frame buffer and passing it to the display device. Then it reads the data in the form of ones and zeros and converts into the corresponding video signals. What is the monitor doing? It displays the image on the screen. This is how the raster scan works. Second type of or second method is the random scan method. Here this is a scan display unit, has an electron beam directly only to the parts of the screen where a picture is to be drawn. It draws a picture one line at a time. It is also referred to as a vector display. The components of picture can be drawn and refreshed by random scan display. So it doesn't draw pixel by pixel. It is based on the mathematical formulas, and according to the mathematical formulas inserted, it executes one by one and draws the line or the primitives one by one, and the images drawn. Picture definition is stored as a set of line drawing commands with the help of mathematical formulas or algorithms in an area of memory called the refresh display file. To display specified pictures, the system cycles through the set of commands in the display file, drawing each component line one by one. You can see over here, you can see the image. This is an architecture of vector display. In the buffer memory, display buffer memory, you can see different commands are there: move, 100, 300, line. So it is drawing, it is reading one command at a time, the display controller, and then it draws the lines on the screen. This is how it works. It directly starts, okay, from the beginning it draws the line with the help of mathematical formulas and no raster scan is done. It is the random scan. So what is the main difference between the random scan and the raster scan. Random scan also called as a vector scan. Here the beam is moved between the endpoints of the graphic primitives. Whereas in the raster scan, the beam is moved all over the screen, one scan line at a time. From line by line, it draws the image. Vector display flickers when the number of primitives are very high. Okay, when you have a complex image, then there are more number of primitives or lines to be drawn, and the vector scan flickers over there. Whereas the raster scan doesn't depend on the complexity of the image. Whatever is the complexity, it will follow the same steps. So it is independent of complexity. So it can draw the complex objects or images very clearly. Scan conversion is not required, whereas in raster scan, the image has to be first converted into the pixels, okay, or it has to be stored in the frame buffer, okay, so scan conversion is required over there. In the same way, they require the scan conversion hardware also, whereas in the random scan, it doesn't require. Vector displays draws the continuous and smooth lines, whereas the raster scan doesn't draw continuous lines. If you enlarge it, the lines appears to be jagged. But the cost is very low, and raster display has ability to display areas filled with solid colors or patterns also. Very easily it can draw colors or images filled with colors, whereas the vector scan doesn't do that. We have the color CRT monitors also. A CRT monitor displays color pictures by using a combination of phosphors that emit different colored lights. By combining the emitted light from the different phosphors, a range of colors can be generated. The two basic techniques for producing the color displays with a CRT are the beam penetration method and the shadow mask method. First, we'll see the beam penetration technique. Here you are having the CRT and this is the screen which is coated by two different colors. The red and the inner is the green. Here from this the beam is coming. Okay. If the speed of the beam is slow, it penetrates only the outer, that is the red layer. But if the beam is very fast, then it can penetrate the red layer, outer layer, and it can go to the green layer. Okay. So depending on it, depending on the speed of the electron, the red or the green color is generated. Okay. So if the beam is slow, red color. If the beam is fast, green color. And if the speed is in between, then there is a mixture of different colors. Red and green mixture color is generated. You can see over there. It is mostly used with the random scan monitors. Here it is coated, the screen is coated with two layers, the layers of phosphors, red and green. The outer layer is the red layer and the inner layer is the green layer. Beam of slow electrons excites only the outer red layer, whereas the beam of fast electrons penetrates the red layer and excites the green layer. Intermediate speeds of the beam produces combinations of red and green light, and those color combinations like yellow, orange, these colors are generated. Beam acceleration voltage control the speed of electrons. The second method is the shadow mask technique. Here in the shadow mask technique, before the CRT screen, we have a shadow mask, and then we are having three guns, the blue, red and green gun, emitting different electrons. You can see over there, these electrons pass through the holes of the shadow mask and it hits the screen. How it works? It creates a wider range of colors. It is having red, blue and green and the combination of these three colors. So, wider than the beam penetration technique. It is mostly used with the raster scan displays. Shadow mask grid just behind the phosphor coated screen consists of series of holes aligned with phosphor dot pattern. 3 electron beams are deflected and focused as a group onto the shadow mask. and when they pass through